We're gonna keep the set moving. This next one was another song that we did on the Tiny Desk. And you know, we filmed this about 3 weeks ago now. And little did we know that 3 weeks later, the song and the message of that song would reverberate 100 times more and be even more relevant to what's going on right now. For the folks that don't know, we were actually supposed to kick off the tour in Los Angeles a couple days ago. We were in LA. And as y'all know, if you've been keeping up with the news, there's a lot of injustice that's going on right now, affecting our communities, affecting the people that we love and that we know, affecting our families. I myself, like I mentioned, I'm a 1.5 generation Filipino American. I'm the children of immigrants. This country was built by immigrants. We make America. This song is called 7,000 Miles, which is the distance between the Bay Area and the Philippines, where I'm from.
Welcome to Bitch Talk. I'm your host, Erin.
And I'm co-host Ange, aka Captain Party.
And for more than 11 years, the show has celebrated underrepresented voices in pop culture and beyond.
But not in the snore kind of way, which is why our listeners and followers have graciously voted us Best of the Bay, Best Podcast on 48 Hills for 3 years in a row. Three-peat, bitches.
If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram and check out our website, Bitch Talk Podcast, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.
On that note, on with the show. Clink. Holy shit, bitch talkers. We are coming at you on location at the Lagunitas Brewery in Petaluma for the Tiny Desk Contest on the Road concert for our 2025 champion, Ruby Ibarra, activist, poet, lyricist, Filipina icon. Welcome back to Bitch Talk for the 4th, 5th time, whatever it was, Ruby. We love you so much.
I love you all too. Thank you so much for having me again. What a reunion. I was so happy to see you both when I entered through the door. I was like, oh my gosh, those are my people.
Well, the last time we were talking about it, last time we saw you in person was at
Sundance.
Yeah,
together,
1,000 Cuts.
which was 2020, which is insanity.
Yeah.
But
And that was an emotional day. Kobe died.
Had just
that
passed
day.
away
And
that
then
day.
I think unfortunately after the interview, or fortunately, you two figured out that you were Kobe fans, and it was just thank you both for holding it together through that interview, because it was a heavy day.
It was.
But we really appreciate you being here, and like, what a road this has been. You are now everywhere. I wanted to ask you first, we're just going to deep dive right in everything, but how has having a child and being a mom changed your music?
Oh, we're getting right into it.
You know what? We only got, but like a lot's changed.
we're trying to make you cry, Ruby.
We're going to make you cry right now, but you're a mom now.
I am. And I was just going to say, too, when you were giving me that beautiful introduction, don't forget to put mama in there, which to me is the title that I think I hold first and foremost these days. And she's been my biggest blessing, and a blessing that's led to blessings like this, like Tiny Desk. I think what a lot of folks don't know is when I was writing Bakunawa, I was pregnant. I had just found out that I was carrying her, and I have a daughter, and I wanted to find a way to be able to express everything that I was feeling. I wanted to be able to also challenge myself as an artist and really ask myself, like, okay, Ruby, what is it that you really want to talk about now that you have a child, specifically now that you have a daughter who's someday going to listen to your songs? Are these going to be lyrics that you can engage in dialogue with her? Are these going to be songs that you're proud of to show her? And so those are the kind of things that have been going through my mind in the last 7 months, even longer than that, since I was carrying her. And since we last saw each other, I've definitely grown so much in my personal life, obviously with having a daughter, but I think just becoming more confident and comfortable too in who I am and have been in my becoming. I've definitely been evolving more in my artistry. I think since the last time we spoke in 2020, I've been with a live band, performing together more religiously. And, as y'all saw with the Tiny Desk submission and win, there's a lot of badass Pinays on there, on the instruments, on the drums, on the guitars, on the bass. And I'm just so grateful to be in community and have created a family amongst amazing Pinay musicians since we last spoke.
we're going to get to the Tiny Desk because I lost count how many times I watched it, crying, chills, the whole thing. It was the most special thing I've seen in a long time.
She was in an airport.
I was in the airport and I was like, I'm not even going to be able to get on the plane. They're going to have to call like the medic to hydrate me. But no, but to rewind, we haven't seen you together since Sundance, but I saw you at the Yerba Buena concert in 2023, and it was, talk about magical moment. You were performing. It was a celebration of Fanny, Right to Rock, the documentary that came out. So it was Pibu and the Cats, which is a Filipino-led teenage band, I guess I'll call it. I mean, they're incredible. And then you with the Balikbayans, and then Fanny, who paved the way not just for Filipino musicians, but for women rockers.
Yep. Pioneers
that never got their due justice. So all that to say, can you talk about connecting with Fanny and ultimately having June playing with you on Bakunawa, because that was so special.
I still fangirl over June to this day. Even just rehearsal the other day, every time she busts out like a lick on the guitar, I always immediately just pull up my phone. I'm like, I gotta capture this moment, and I can't believe I have like front row seats to this. We first connected back in 2019 when they were actually filming the documentary Fanny, the Right to Rock. I got connected through their director, Bobby Jo Hart, who reached out to me, and she said that they were familiar with my work and saw that I was kind of a new voice representing Filipino women, and had asked me, have I heard of Fanny's music, because they said a lot of folks, especially in my generation, have not. And like you mentioned, they existed, they did their thing, they opened the doors, but documentation of what they did in their time has kind of been pushed under the rug. And so I think this documentary that they came out with was just absolutely beautiful and absolutely right timing. And I'm glad I got to also connect with June, Jean, Bree, and everyone from Fanny. And since then, it's always been in my mind. I kept asking myself, I have to find a way to be able to work with them. Because I was just in complete awe when I watched the film. I went through a whole, like, down the rabbit hole, watched their videos on YouTube, saw all their live performances, and I said, oh my God, these women are so badass. And to do it in a time too in the 70s where, when we talk about now, like how we were still continuing to fight for representation, but imagine during that time where people didn't even know the word Filipino, I don't think, not in the mainstream. And they really had to open the doors for themselves, I don't even think it was even cracked open just a little bit. And so when we say pioneers, it's not just really in music, but also culturally, it's also for women. And I really don't think that artists such as myself wouldn't have the stage that we have if it wasn't for artists like Fanny. And I've been so grateful that we kept that connection since filming that documentary. And so when I was writing Bakunawa, I already knew, I kind of already pictured in my head, like, these are the other voices I hear on the track. I immediately knew June. I specifically wrote that verse for June. Weeda's part, I knew it had to be her voice. And then Han Han also on the chorus. I was like, this is so, like, I need someone with, like, kind of like that chanting voice that could really drive, like, if the Bakunawa had a voice, that to me was Han Han. And it was very intentional of who the collaborators were on the song. And I'm just so grateful and honored that we were able to make it happen, because there was a lot of roadblocks that we had to continuously fight to be able to do that, even the submission video.
Yeah, I wanted to talk more about Tiny Desk, and I love that you talk about, you tried this before, and I would need you to remind me how many years ago you tried before.
6 years ago.
So you tried and you didn't get it. And it felt like when you were talking about this, you're like, I just needed to go through a lot of things before getting to this place now. Can you talk about how you really pushed yourself and what it looked like to get to this now?
I think, for a lot of artists, it's always a constant uphill battle. And I think the moment that you kind of stop, it's like you kind of have to find yourself, like, climbing again from step one. And it's especially as an independent artist where you wear so many hats, you have all these roles and shoes to fill. You're your own marketing person, graphic designer, you do the production, and for so many years I've been doing that. And I thought to myself, like, one, just because, one opportunity doesn't present itself now, it doesn't mean that it's not ever going to be within reach someday. And so even though we didn't win the Tiny Desk contest back in 2019, I knew that, A, I needed to grow as an artist, but B, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, I felt like I had to continue becoming myself and thinking about what do I want to continue talking about, how do I want to continue putting music, and who do I want to continue working with. And I think once I found answers to those questions, I didn't even have to kind of think anymore, like, I really hope I win this time, I really hope this. We kind of just shot in the dark, and it was in due time, stars aligned, and it really felt right this time, and it felt even more special to do it with the crew that we had.
Oh yes, everybody looked so good in that performance. But so now the meaningfulness of the timing of your performance in whatever our country is going through right now, to see you on the Tiny Desk not only express your lyricism and your writing capabilities and the talents of your bandmates, but the story of an immigrant, the story of a woman trying to come up in this industry. This is such an important time for you to be sharing your story. It was just so powerful. Can you talk about the timing of this performance in relation to what we're going through in our country?
I feel like this conversation about who belongs here, it's not new. It's been ongoing. Back in 2017, when I first wrote 7,000 Miles, it was relevant then as much as it is relevant now. But, we are seeing, I think we are in kind of seems like we're headed towards a turning point of some sort in this country, and people are finding their voice to fight back against the injustices that are happening against immigrants. But for a lot of us immigrant kids, first generation, 1.5 generation, even seeing it with our parents, that fight that struggle has always existed in this country. And for me, when we were putting together this set for Tiny Desk, to only choose 3 songs, I was like, how can we narrow it down? Like, there were so many songs that we kind of threw on the wall, and different arrangements of like, no, we want this order. It was so tough. Trust me, y'all, I really wanted to do Us.
I was waiting. I'm like, I know you only get this much time.
Yeah.
So.
But like with Bakunawa, that's a submission song. Yeah. Someday, full circle moment from 2019 submission, we have to do that one. And I think it was the second song really that I had to think carefully and deeply about, and at the end of the day, it was pretty simple to say we have to do 7,000 Miles. Like, this is the conversation that we want to start with our set. This is what's relevant right now, specifically in this country. And ultimately, we wanted to make a set that was going to be most impactful, that was going to start conversation. And I think, when I write my lyrics, it's always about what dialogue is this going to create. And so it felt most fitting to include that song.
And speaking of this time, a couple of nights ago, you were supposed to be performing in LA, and, quote unquote, the protests, the riots, whatever the press is calling it, was happening. But can you talk about what happened, why you had to reschedule? And also, I saw that you posted a photo of someone getting arrested and she had the jacket, but like the shirt. So can you talk about all of that? Because it's happening now.
It is happening now, and it was very surreal to be in LA in the midst of it, in this week.
Yeah.
We were supposed to kick off the NPR Tiny Desk tour in Los Angeles, and so me and my bandmates, we flew in on Tuesday, and we were getting ready for rehearsal to prepare for the next day. And in the middle of rehearsal, we all got alerts on our phones, and it said that curfew had been implemented, and from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And of course, naturally, we all got, very concerned and nervous. Like, are we even going to be able to get back to our hotel from rehearsal? Because our hotel, as well as the venue, was smack dab in the middle of the curfew zone. It was in downtown Los Angeles. And it was also, kind of unnerving to be in that time, knowing that the music, that we create, the music that we make, the things that we talk about, and to be in that moment where we're like, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel like the America that people make it out to be. it was it's martial law. That's what it is. It's leading to martial law, and in many ways it reminded me of politics in the Philippines as well, and the history I heard about from my parents growing up. And so it was scary in that sense, but at the same time, it also fired us up. It made me remember why I'm an artist in the first place, why we have to set foot on that stage every night, every stage, every city on this tour, why it's important that we have that mic in our hands, and why we say what we have to say. And so now we're going, for the rest of this tour with that intent that, there's a responsibility that we carry as an artist in these times.
Thank you so much, Ruby. We got to let you go because you got to prepare to go on stage. Sorry for everyone who's listening, but we get to go see her perform now, not to brag. But really, these are really scary times, but your music is something that gives us hope and gives us light. And I'm so proud for our future generations to have you as someone to look up to. You make us so proud. I feel like an auntie, even though we're peers, but you make us so proud. We love following you and seeing what you're doing next. You really set a beautiful example.
I just have one little final thing I want to mention, and then we'll wrap. You were in one of our most favorite episodes of Blind Spotting.
Oh, God, we never talk about that?
No, we've never talked to her about
Filipino
that.
Please,
the one with Rufio.
Yeah, all of it.
God. I can't believe we never talked about this.
No.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about that?
Y'all,
that impact
I got
also.
to act with Dante Bosco.
Yes, you did.
Okay, whatever.
I'm an actress now. It was amazing. That's like probably on one of my top 5 favorite things I've ever done project wise. But shout out to David Diggs, shout out to Rafael Casal for putting on an amazing production like Blind Spotting, and the movie too.
Oh, yeah, all of it.
Representing the Bay also, and then the themes that are talked about in those projects. So honored to have been part of it.
Yeah, it was
so fun. It was such
we're
a
like,
fun episode.
of course Ruby's in this.
Yeah.
Damn it.
No, it was perfect.
Philo was in it.
I mean,
So we
Guap
call
Dad.
we call April hot cousin.
yeah.
That's April.
Yeah. But that was so much fun to see you.
Yes.
More acting also. Please.
Rudy, thank you. Thank you. We love you, obviously.
Thank you. I love y'all too. Always great to see y'all.
You too.
As we mentioned before, immigrants have been here, worked here, lived here. No one is illegal, especially on stolen land. From Tacloban City, Philippines, all the way to Petaluma, California, my name is Ruby Ibarra. Mama will make it in America. Mama will make it in America. Mama will make 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 America. Yes, Mama, we made it in America. In solidarity and much love to everyone out there.
All right, bitch talkers, I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. And right now, we're going to share one last snippet of this concert for you. We were really excited to find out that one of our prior guests and friend of the podcast was a surprise guest at this concert. It's Tao and the Get Down, Stay Down. And we're going to give you a little snippet of her set as she brings on a special guest of her own. And this is a reminder to go see a show at the Lagunitas Brewing Company in Petaluma. They know what they're doing out there. Enjoy. show?
Well, I didn't know it was going to be in a mosh pit. So that was like, I was like, oh shit, it got real.
But it was a Filipino mosh pit. That's loving.
Yeah, it was.
It was loving.
I didn't know. Look, I didn't know what we were doing today.
It wasn't aggressive. It was love.
No, it felt good.
Fucking Ruby.
Thanks for joining us on today's show. You can find more information about this episode in our show notes.
If you're missing us, you can visit us at bitchtalkpodcast.com to sign up for our newsletter and buy us a cup of coffee.
Did you know we're also on the radio? You can find us at bff.fm.
And lastly, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All the cool bitches are doing it.